Hey guys, it's Paige. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is actually going to be a story time. If you guys have been keeping up with the vlogs, then you already know that I celebrated my 27th birthday in Lisbon, Portugal this year. Even though I had an amazing trip, it got off to a bit of a rocky start. And if you're following me on Instagram, which I tell you guys every single video, you are missing out if you are not following me on Instagram. I'm always posting on my story and posting new photos, so come on guys, it's not too late, come on over. So yeah, if you're following me on Instagram, then you most likely saw in my story that there was a little bit of a fiasco while trying to enter Portugal. So a disclaimer before I begin this story time, I take responsibility for everything that happened. It was completely my fault. It could have been avoided, but you know what? It was an honest mistake. And I do not believe that I am the first person, nor will I be the last person to make this mistake. So I thought I would get on here and share with you guys exactly what went down so that you can possibly avoid it ever happening to you in the future. Okay? Cool. So my birthday was actually kind of off to a rocky start before I even got to the airport, because I went out the night before to celebrate and I came home with no phone. But we won't get into that too much, but I got my phone back and then it was time to go to the airport. So everything was good, everything was smooth. My homegirl Therese was with me. We were ready to go have a wonderful time in Lisbon. So we get to the gate and it's time to board. So I hand over my passport and my boarding pass, and the guy says, oh, you're only allowed to have one bag, so you're gonna need to put your backpack in your luggage. So this was my first time flying EasyJet, so this had never happened to me before. I'm always used to having my carry-on bag, and then I could wear my purse, which is a backpack, you know, onto the plane. But they were like, no, you have to condense, the backpack needs to go into your carry-on bag. So I'm like, that's fine. It's still gonna be with me, it's just gonna be, you know, overhead. That's fine. I don't know about anyone else, but it makes me feel so anxious when I feel like I'm in people's way, or like I'm stopping them from like getting by or doing what they need to do. So I'm like trying to hurry. So I'm like, whew, okay, that's done, time to get on the plane. So Teresa and I walk down, and when you board the plane is outside and you climb the steps and get onto the plane. So we get outside and then we immediately get stopped, and the guys who like handle the luggage or whatever, they're like, oh, there's no more room in the cabin, we have to take your bags. I didn't even get, like, it just all happened so fast. I really didn't even have a second to process it. I'm just like, okay, you know, they said they had to take my bag, so hopefully that's all right. And I just handed it over to them. I really didn't think anything of it. In my mind, the entire flight, I wasn't stressed. Everything was fine, you know. Safe flight, landed. Then we get to customs. And it was like a bell went off in my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My passport is in my luggage that they took. My passport is in my luggage that they took. I'm in full-on panic mode immediately. Of course, Teresa's trying to keep me calm. She's like, we'll figure it out. Let's just go ask somebody what you're supposed to do. So I go up to this guy. He didn't appear to be security, because they all had like the same outfit on, which is like a button-up shirt. They had like patches on it and it said, I don't know, security on it, I don't know. But he had on just like a regular t-shirt, so I'm not really sure what his job was, but I could tell that he worked over there. So I go up to him first and he's like, oh yeah, you just need to go over to that like phone and dial for assistance and someone will tell you what you need to do. So I'm like, I bet. That seems simple enough. I'll go to this phone and they'll tell me how I can get my passport out of my bag so I can get through customs, right? So I go over to the phone and I follow the instructions, dial a little number, and it's just ringing and ringing and ringing. So I hang up and I call again, and it's just ringing and ringing and ringing. And finally I'm like, okay, nobody's going to answer this phone, are they? All right, no one's gonna answer. So we go back over to the area where I talked to the guy, and he's just vanished. He's gone. I don't know who he was. I know he worked for the airport, but he just was not there anymore to help me. So I'm trying to woosah and keep calm. Therese and I agreed that she should just go through customs because the line was super long. We agreed that she should just go through, and when she gets to the front, you know, when they're about to stamp her passport or check her passport or whatever, she can just ask them like, what do you do in this situation? So now I'm alone. Teresa's, you know, in the line somewhere, and I see like the airport security people. So I'm like, okay, you know, someone can help me. I'm gonna ask this guy, what should I do in the situation? So I'm like, excuse me, you know, hi. I'm in a bit of a situation right now. At the last minute, the luggage guys took my bag, and I just wasn't thinking, and my passport was in there, and I don't have it to get through customs. I'm not really sure what to do. I'm, you know, going on, and the guy's just looking at me. And at this point, he proceeds to just like go in on me and just like completely drag me for no reason at all. His whole face just changed, and he had like this snarl, and he's just like, have you never traveled before? Why would you not have your passport? You don't know how this works? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 because I was just taken aback at the attitude that he was giving me. I came to him, you know, just looking for help, and I still wasn't giving him attitude back. I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, it wasn't intentional, and there's nothing I can do now. I can't go back. And while I'm talking to him, he just turns around and starts walking away from me in the middle of me talking. And I just, like, honestly, guys, I could not believe that. I could not believe this man who is assisting people. I mean, I think that's what he was there for. If people have questions or things need to be handled, like that's his job. He just completely cut me off and walked away in the middle of me talking. So while he's walking away, I'm like, hey, so are you not going to help me? And his back is still turned to me, and he shrugs like this and says, nope, and keeps walking. You guys, oh my gosh, like I can't remember the last time I felt like so small and helpless. I was just like, what am I going to do? There's nowhere to go. Like, this area is completely roped off. You either turn around and go back to where the plane was, which I don't even think you can go that way, or you're just like stuck in this area. I didn't know what to do. I hadn't heard from Therese yet, and this guy just completely like ripped me to shreds and refused to help me. So he goes over to another guy who he works with, and I can tell that they're talking about me because they look over at me a few times, and of course they're speaking in what I assume to be Portuguese. The guy who like was super mean to me, he didn't come back in this moment, but the guy he was talking to comes over to me, and he's like, so what's going on? Or I don't know, he had just as much of an attitude and wasn't really trying to provide a solution either. I wasn't in anyone's way at all. It was just like I was in the roped area, but there was no one standing there. It was like everyone was on the other side. He's like, it's not gonna do you any good standing up here. You should just go back over there on the other side. So I'm just like, I didn't even say anything to him. I just like walked away. So I was like, you know, I don't know what I can do. Like, these people are not willing to help me, so there's no point of even like trying to talk to them anymore. And I don't really know at what point the tears started, but I was crying, y'all. I'm just like, it's my birthday. I am having the roughest birthday ever. Like, what is going on? I'm just like sitting in a corner somewhere, and finally Therese calls me, and she's like, oh my gosh, the guy at customs was like the sweetest guy ever. He was so nice. He said, don't worry about it at all. This has happened so many times. Just go pick up her bag and get her passport out, and then bring it back to me, and she'll be fine. She'll get through. So I am like, hallelujah. God has sent an angel to come and save the day. This is amazing. Everything is gonna be fine. Like I told you guys, I'm like standing in a corner. I probably looked like I had been crying. I don't know. I didn't really care. Like, first of all, I was still just so upset that I had been talked to in that way. When I was younger, maybe in like high school, middle school, I was like so shy. If people were rude to me, I would probably like not say anything back or just like be really upset about it. But as the 27-year-old woman I am today, I don't let people talk to me crazy. No, I will snap right back at you like in a second. I do not tolerate disrespect. But in this case, I could not do that because these guys might be what stopped me from getting into this country. And I need to get into Portugal. So I just kind of felt like I was going to explode because I couldn't say anything back to these rude people. Like, I couldn't do anything. So I'm sitting in my little corner just like, I can't wait till I get through here Like, I'm just so over this, you know, replaying the whole situation in my head. Like, I can't believe that guy would talk to me like that. Who does he think he is? Oh my gosh. So all of a sudden, the first guy, the one who was super rude and nasty to me, he comes around the corner and finds me, and he's like, oh, are you trying to hide from me? Like, whole demeanor is different at this point. Like, before he was just disgusting, a disgusting human being, but now he's just, oh, are you trying to hide? Ha 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 ha. So I talked to someone and this is what you need, and I'm like, nope, I'm good, sir. My friend talked to someone at customs at the little desk over there, and he was super polite and helpful, and he told her exactly what we need to do. So I'm good. My friend's gonna bring me my passport. Thanks. And he's like, oh, okay. You know, still just being so much softer than he was before. Maybe he went to the break room or something and got himself together, or he realized that all that he was giving me was super unnecessary. But yeah, he was trying to be a different person, but I wasn't having it. I'm like, I'm good. I don't want your help. We're gonna figure this out without you because you nasty and rude. So he leaves, and I'm waiting and waiting because, you know, Therese about to come save me. You know, everything's good. Finally, I hear from Therese, and she's like, I can't get back over there to customs. And I'm like, what you mean, girl? What you mean you can't get back over to customs? She's like, everyone that I go up to, they're telling me that I'm not allowed to go back that way. And whenever I say, how do I get to customs? They say, you're not allowed to go there. So I don't know what to do. Now I done told the rude, nasty man to get away. And I'm still stuck over here on this side of customs. And Therese can't get to me. So I'm crying again at this point. I'm crying again. I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm like, what is life? What is happening? At this point, the situation had been going on for like over an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Like, you know, it doesn't take that long to go through customs, even when the line is long. Like, I couldn't believe that I was still sitting there. Then all of a sudden, I could hear the angels singing again as this man approaches me. And it is the guy that was super sweet with Therese and told her that everything was going to be fine. She just needs to bring me back the passport. So he comes over to me. I don't know how he was able to leave his little desk, but he comes to me and he's like, what's going on? Didn't your friend tell you to come over to me? And I'm like, no. I need to ask Therese about that too, because she never told me he said come over to him, because I would have did that way at the beginning. But I'm like, no, she told me that you told her to go get the passport and she could come back. But they're not letting her come back over here, so I don't really know what to do. So he's like, okay, you know, it's all fine, just come with me. And you guys, I'm just like super in my feelings and just like delirious at this point. And the guys just walk with me, and I'm like, those other guys were just like super mean to me for no reason. I don't understand. And today is my birthday. I'm just having a really difficult time. And I'm just like crying. He's like, it's your birthday? Happy birthday. You know, I'm sorry. Like, don't worry about those guys. Like, don't worry about it. He was super sweet. Like, I thank God for that man, because I don't know how much longer I would have been standing there if he did not come and save the day. But he takes me to this little room, this little back room, and I'm trying to think of how I can say this in the best possible way, but everyone in the room that he took me into looked off. For some reason, they were being detained and not let into Portugal either. But I was right along with them. Like, who am I to judge? I'm in the same boat as y'all right now. So I just, you know, take my place next to one guy who's snoring really loud and another guy who's talking to himself in a language I didn't understand. And I'm just like, dear God, I apologize for every sin that I have ever made. I'm sorry for that lie that I told my mom in the 6th grade. I promise if you get me out of this, I am going to be like your perfect child. Amen. So I'm sitting there, and he's like in the back. I don't know what he's doing. So finally he comes back over to me. He's like, you know, where did you say your friend was? And I'm like, I don't know, but like, let me try to call her and see what's going on. So I FaceTime her, And Therese has now found a guy who is like super willing to help her. He didn't really know how to get her back to me either, but he had her back and he was willing to help her. He was another guy that worked in the airport. So Therese and I both gave our phones to the angels sent from heaven, and they spoke to each other in Portuguese, and at the end I could tell they were like, okay, cool. So when we hung up, I asked the guy like, what's gonna happen? He's like, I'm about to go get your friend. So I'm just like, yes, God, you a real one. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I wait a little bit longer in this room. When I tell you I have never been so happy to see Therese, like that's my girl, but I ain't never been that excited to see her. Oh my gosh, like this was just like one hell of a day, okay? So when she came through that door and she had my passport in her hand, I literally just wanted to start doing the Holy Ghost. Like I was so happy. Oh my gosh. The amazing guy from customs, he's like, I'm gonna hand your passport over to this guy in the room, and he's going to just, you know, look at it and stuff and then give it back to you, so you don't have to like wait in line again and blah blah blah. I forgot to mention that this was super late at night. Like we landed at 8:55, and this whole ordeal took over 2 hours, so it was like after 11 p.m. The guy does his thing, gives me my passport, and we are free to go, and I am allowed into Portugal. You guys, travel mistakes happen, and they are usually inconvenient, time consuming, and sometimes expensive. Luckily I didn't lose any money in this situation, but I definitely lost a lot of time. But yeah, that's my story time, guys. What did I learn from that? Keep your passport in your pocket. I don't know, like make sure it's always on your person. I'm thinking if it's in my purse, I'm all good, but obviously not, because you just never know. You never know. I can now look back on the situation and laugh a little bit, not a whole lot, a little bit. But I definitely wanted to share with you guys so you can avoid the same mistake. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story time and you want to see more in the future, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And why don't you hit that notification bell while you're at it so that you never miss a video from me again. See you guys in the next one. Bye.